a follow-up video on the curry sauce that I made, that I put in jars and I froze some as well. So, and I've also had a bit to clear out in the freezer. I have got found in the bottom of the freezer, I found some cooked lamb. So we're going to show that curry sauce can be used with cooked meats as well. Similar to the chickpeas that I used, same kind of method. So the chickpeas were cooked, the lamb's cooked. So all we're really going to do is we're just going to have to heat the lamb in the curry sauce, but we'll do it slowly. So it will, the lamb will go super tender. It's already tender, but it'll go really tender, and it'll take on the flavours of the curry without having to marinade or that type of thing. So it'll kind of show how versatile the curry sauce is. I'm going to use some that I had in the freezer because I want to make some space in the freezer rather than using the jarred stuff, because that'll keep out the freezer for a long time. And it's just about time that I make some space in the freezer for some things I want to put into the freezer. And I found at the back of the cupboard, I found some really old, cheap supermarket rice. So we'll cook that and we'll see how that is. But I think that will be at least 5 years old. It'll have been in the cupboard for 5 years. So we'll see how it is. I'm sure it will cook beautifully. And it'll probably even cook better than like new rice, because I've kind of mentioned it before, but aged rice becomes more fluffy when you cook it. So it might be particularly good quality rice. And also because I quite like sticky rice with curries. I don't like just single grains of rice. I like it to be a little bit sticky. We're going to put some butter through it. I'm going to agitate it towards it towards the end of the cooking process, so it'll go a little bit sticky. So that kind of really nice. So it's dead straightforward. It's just a simple case of curry sauce in the pan. There'll be 600 grams of curry sauce, 600 milliliters, that type of thing, and then there's about 550 grams of cooked lamb. It's a little bit fatty as well, but that'll be fine. That'll add to the richness of the dish. So that's that. Small heat, bring it up to temperature, and then turn it right down, and we'll leave it on cooking for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Won't be a problem. It'll just go really super soft. So we'll start off on front burner. Give it a little bit of stir. What have I got? I've lost all my utensils. We've got that, so we'll just get the last bit of the curry sauce out of there, because we don't like waste. And then we'll give it a bit of a stir. I won't make a mess of the wooden spoon. Pretty straightforward. So a bit of a nonsense video, but it'll just go to show, it's just a follow-up video to the curry sauce, meaning that you can use it for anything you fancy. I don't know. It's a thing, quite a thing to do in the UK. If you've got the meat left over from the Sunday dinner, what you would do is you turn it into a curry the day after. Certainly where I come from, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the country, but it's certainly something that turn it into a pie or turn it into a curry. So there's going to be loads of meat in that, so there'll be a good 4 portions, easy peasy. And I'm going to finish it off with hopefully some parsley. I've left it a bit late to go to the fruit and veg shop, so hopefully they'll have some parsley left. You don't have, sometimes curries I think are a little bit, if you put coriander in them, it can be a little bit overwhelming, whereas I kind of think parsley is nice and fresh tasting, and it gives, as long as you don't chop it up too much, it adds loads of flavour to something like a curry, and a little bit different. But anyway, so bring it up to temperature, stick it on the back burner on a really low heat. I'll just leave it for an hour, 2 hours while I go out, and everything will be fine. It'll be lovely by the time I come back. But there we go. Right, the curry is cooked. So it's been on for a couple of hours, and the meat's gone really super tender. So that's going to be delicious as that. And then so we'll put in some, luckily the fruit and veg shop did have some parsley, so we're going to put in lots of parsley. And then the rice is cooked. That. Loads of parsley, because they only have big bunches, so I had to buy a big bunch. think about something else to do with the rest of the parsley. It's always at the last second with herbs like parsley and coriander. That's that. Rice is cooked. It's old rice, so it hasn't. The cheaper rices don't particularly cook as well, so they're a little bit al dente when you cook them. But this is nice. It's been in the cupboard for goodness knows how long, so it's turned itself into really good rice. So nice knob of butter, and then we'll stir it around, which will make the rice sticky. I find different rices want to do different things. So ordinarily you wouldn't stir rice because you'd want to keep it, you wouldn't want it sticky, you'd want it free running grains, but I actually want it sticky. The butter's going to add a richness, and plain boiled rice can be a bit boring, let's be honest, but by adding some butter and making it a bit sticky, it certainly becomes a lot more interesting. So we'll have half of that. Oh yeah, the method for the rice was double the quantity of water to rice. Bring the water up to the boil, and then right there, bring the water up to the boil, and then add the rice, then give it a stir, and then turn it right down and let it cook until all the water's absorbed. So there we go. Dinner from the cupboard and the freezer and the fruit and veg shop. But there we go. Delicious curry with cooked meat that was I don't know what I'd also use it. I'd turn it into. But there you go. I'll take a picture. I'll get a bit closer, and that'll be the thumbnail picture. But there you go. Delicious tender curry.